And here we are with Catherine Baldwin of Suspended Animation, of course, based in Florida and working to help cryopreserve patients all over the world.
Well,
Correct?
at least in the continental U.S.
Well, yes. And let me just begin. How have things been going at Suspended Animation recently? I saw you a couple of years ago, and you were doing some research. You were also, in the cryopreservation business, and of course, how have things been going recently?
Well, we have a lot of really exciting things that I'm going to talk about at this conference today. Tomorrow, actually. No, Sunday.
Yes.
SA had its second conference last year, and so we were pretty excited. There was good attendance for that one, and I think it was kind of our coming out party. Since I saw you last, I guess 3 years ago, we have expanded our network of medical professionals across the U.S. It used to be we had medical professionals in 2 states, and we sort of had to centralize and deploy people from those 2 states. Now we have medical professionals in 12 states.
12 states. Now, how has that been, how difficult has that been to reach out to more medical professionals and talk to them about cryonics and get them on board with the cryopreservation procedures?
You have to take rejection well.
Oh.
Yes. But it's actually, we've got to the point now, we have 7 MDs and 4 thoracic surgeons who are under contract with SA, along with 8 cardiac perfusionists. All of those are on call 24/7, 365, solely to respond to suspended animation clients. And we now have surgeons calling us who want to learn more about cryopreservation.
And that's something I talked with Max Moore about, the CEO of Alcor, as far as the acceptance of cryonics seems to be getting better in recent years. And I didn't know if you had a perspective on how or why it has become easier to get medical professionals on board, more people being accepting of cryonics.
I think there are a whole bunch of things coming together. At least I hope so. It's a matter of, who you talk to and where. I think where is pretty key. There are still some pretty conservative pockets where,
yes,
in the U.S., where what we do is considered interfering with nature or whatever. And but therapeutic hypothermia is in widespread use. It is now expanding to use in the field by paramedics, and it's commonplace in the cardiac suite. It's commonplace in the emergency room. So for us to come in now, we have all the top grade medical equipment. We have, a lot of times we bring surgeons and perfusionists who have better qualifications than the hospitals we go into.
Sure.
And we're pros, and it shows. So we have our stuff together, so to speak, now.
So you have street cred,
yes,
that helps out quite a bit.
Right.
But also, is the culture changing a little bit in much of the world, in the United States, but also the world as far as younger generations?
Certainly, yeah. I think there's certainly more young people, at least the contracts that come across my desk requesting SA services tend to be from younger folks. And cryopreservation is just one of many strategies for life extension for a lot of people. And, I think, too, because of medical acceptance of deep therapeutic hypothermia, what we do doesn't seem quite so crazy anymore.
Yeah, and 3 years ago at the conference, when I approached you and asked you about, what was the most exciting thing going on, you were dedicated, very much dedicated to get the best preservation possible with the current equipment. And how has that progressed in the last couple of years? Have you added anything? Have you changed any of the procedures at all?
Yes.
Could you elaborate upon
Sure.
that?
So probably the biggest change comes with the addition of the exceptional skills of these cardiothoracic surgeons.
Oh, okay.
These surgeons, our top thoracic surgeon, has probably done more than 30,000 open chest procedures.
So they can get to a patient and quickly
They can do
get
an
the
open
procedure
chest
done.
cannulation in less than 5 minutes. So the biggest change really it used to be, volunteers and sort of lower level medical professionals, or even research surgeons doing femoral cut downs, which are smaller vessels. And now we bought all the equipment. We have battery powered striker saws and top of the line perfusion equipment that's in cardiac suites. And so we can, if we can get all the logistics in place to be at the patient's bedside and have access to them. We did a case about this time last year where the whole ICU staff wheeled the patient out to our mobile operating room, and the thoracic surgeon had his chest open and cannulated in 10 minutes from the time he was disconnected from his ventilator. So what that means for cryopreservation patients in terms of quality cryopreservation, the great vessels of the heart allow you to perfuse lots of ice-cold solution straight up into the head. So you get cool very quickly, and your chances of getting the best cryopreservation possible are greatly enhanced.
Yeah, and what is coming in the near future, would you say, as far as suspended animation's capabilities? What's coming that is going to enhance things even more?
I think the next big step for us, we have the people, we have the facility, at least for the research, we have the surgical equipment, we have the vehicles and all that. What we're really looking for now is we're focused entirely on trying to work with clinical facilities where we have concentrations of patients, or where we might have concentrations of patients in major metro areas, to develop some kind of cooperative agreement where we don't have to take the patient out of the facility. In fact, we can direct patients to go to these facilities. And instead of wheeling them out into our mobile operating room, we just keep them right there.
Just makes it so much easier for all parties.
Yeah.
What about research in the near future? I know you had mentioned in the past, if you had a little bit of money, you might start up some sort of research effort. And of course, Longecity does provide grants once in a while. So members might be interested to hear, a couple of thoughts. What type of research might help your capabilities in the future?
So one thing that we're doing, Life Extension Foundation did fund the purchase of a real-time polymerase chain reaction machine, which is a big gray box that allows us to do gene expression profiling using blood, circulating blood. So what we would like to do and what we'd like to see is if patients, cryopreservation patients who are SA clients, are interested and able to provide us with blood samples throughout their lifetime, we can do gene expression profiling and put that in their file over time, as well as gene expression profiling during their cryopreservation procedure, up through cryoprotection. We're not real sure yet how cryoprotectants are going to affect our ability to collect RNA.
Data, yeah.
Yeah, but through the washout procedure that we do, we can still collect blood and serum in real time because we're doing the washout.
Now, this, I'm following you here. Now, is this in an effort to potentially in the future, when people are revived, to reset their gene profile at the point where they,
well, we can at least have a look-see.
And see how things were within the patient.
Yes,
okay.
And how they changed over time. For us as a company, we're very interested in a lot of people are interested in cell death as a process.
Yes, and what that might be, and you might be able to find some new things
to tweak or control.
Yes, okay. Yeah. It might even help with perhaps vitrification chemicals, knowing how the RNA or the gene profile changes during the washout procedure.
Yeah.
All right. Well, very exciting.
Yes.
Well, thank you very much for joining me here, Catherine.
Pleasure to see you again.